A very good morning to my dear computer students. Let us start our today's session. So beta, yesterday we have covered the practical implementation of the stack in the program, and I hope you all have gone through that concept and that the concept is clear to you. And now we'll be reading more about the stack, the types of stack. Basically we'll be covering item node. So what is item node? So whatever the items we are storing inside the stack are known as item nodes. Okay, or we can say the stack elements. Okay, yesterday I was using this term in the video. These are your stack elements, so they are also known as item nodes. Okay, so actually this is your item and we are representing each item as a node inside the computer. Okay, so we are calling it as item node. Okay, so we can have different types of stack, like we just want to store integers, so it will be a stack of integers. If we want to store only characters inside the stack, so it will be a stack of characters. And if we want to store different types of data, like we want to store member number, member name, age, okay, inside one item node, inside a stack item node we can say, then it will be using a list that will contain all the member details inside it. Okay, and for that the representation will be like this. The age you are storing, I mean roll number, name and age you are storing. Okay, so means in stack we are storing different lists. Okay, so stack can be represented as list also. So we can represent it like this. Okay, so insertion will be done and the top will be incremented. Fine. Similarly, the operation, rest of all the operations means insertion, deletion, searching will be the same, but difference is that here we were inserting integer, here we are inserting character, but here we will be inserting inserting a list, that is a combination of different data. Okay. Fine. So now let us move to the next topic of it, that is stack applications. So we can find different applications of stack in our day-to-day routine. And we all know that the principle of stack is based on LIFO. LIFO stands for last in first out. That means the element which has entered the stack last will be the one who will be taken out at the first. Okay, so based on this principle, the first application is reversing a line. So if you want to reverse a given line, so what you need to do, firstly you will try entering the characters onto the stack. Okay, once you have finished the line, then the characters will be popped out. Okay, we all know the principle of stack is LIFO. So last in first out. Like see what he is trying to show you. You are entering data. Initially S has been entered, then you are entering T also, then A, then C, okay, and K. So stack. Okay, what is this data structure containing inside the data? What is the data inside it? That is stack. Okay, so now if you are trying to take out the data out of the same stack, what you will take out first? K, then C, then A, then T, and then finally S. So you are getting the data in reverse order. So automatically whatever data you are popping out one by one. Okay, initially K is popped out, then C, then all the characters, whatever they are being popped out, they will all be in your reverse order only. You don't have to perform anything. You need to just perform push, and once the line has been finished, then you can perform pop operation. Okay, no other operation in between is required to reverse the string, or we can say the given elements. Fine. Next is your polished string. See, another application of stack that you can find in your day-to-day life is conversion of arithmetic expressions in high-level programming language into machine-readable form. Okay, so we are dealing with the arithmetic expressions like this in our mathematical problems in day-to-day life. So we can use this polished string notation, which is actually an application of stack only, with the help of which we can solve these types of complex arithmetic expressions also. Okay, actually our computer system, it understands binary language only, and it assumes that an arithmetic operation can take place in two operands only, means two operands will be there and one operator will be there. Okay, so this way. But when we come across these complex expressions, so using the concept of polished strings or using the concept of stack, we can solve these complex arithmetic expressions also. See, Jan Lukasiewicz, ये एक बेटा, he was a Polish mathematician, means he gave the concept of Polish string actually, and because of which only the actually the reverse of I mean this solution of this complex arithmetic expression was possible. Okay, so he gave three notations. One is your prefix notation, and second is your postfix, and third one is your infix notation. So infix notation, it shows that there are two operands and one operator, and the operator is lying in between, as the name itself is telling, infix. So the operator is lying in between the two operands. Prefix means the operator will be uh, before the operands. Okay, so you see this infix can be written as this prefix form. Okay, if the operator is plus, instead of writing it in between the two operands, in prefix notation we'll be writing this operator before the two operands, like this. Okay, postfix expression, what it says, the operator should be after the two operands. Okay, like if this type of expression is given, a minus c, so this is an infix notation. How do I know this is infix? Because the operator is lying between the two operators, operands, sorry. But here if you see, if you will write, means let me use this pencil. See, if you are writing only this term as prefix, how you will write? A, then c, and prefix, na, so we will write the operator before the operands. Okay, it will be AC minus. Okay, so when we will solve this complete, what we will get? See, now this has been solved. Okay, this has been solved and it is equivalent to this. Okay, so now this is 1 altogether. Okay, and we have multiplication and b. So now consider it as one expression, and this is at the second. Okay, this is the first operand, now this is the second operand, and the operator is multiplication now. So 1 cross 2, how you will be writing it in prefix form? Multiply 1 and 2. So what is 1? Minus AC. Okay, and what is b? I mean, what is second? That is b. Okay, and along with it we have minus also. So multiplication will come first, then minus, then ACB. AC and B. I hope it is clear. Similarly, if we write this infix notation into postfix, so you will find, as we were writing minus AC, then we will be writing AC minus. Okay, so you can write it as AC minus. Here the operator was before the operands, here the operator, minus operator, is after the operands, yani AC minus. Okay, so now again you can see this is the first one and this is the second one. So it will be AC minus and B, and the multiplication operator that is lying in between this first and this second will be at the end of it. Okay, similarly you can solve these expressions and take out the equivalent prefix and postfix expressions according to your rules defined for them. Okay, so beta, on the similar basis we can see, I have made it very clear to you how to convert. So this way we'll be actually converting our infix notation to prefix or postfix. Okay, so there is a rule for it. See, we need to follow certain precedents of different operators and the brackets and parentheses, and that is, if in our complex mathematical expression, arithmetic expression, we find brackets or parentheses, then this will be given the first priority, means we will solve these things at the very first part of the solution. Okay, and the second priority will be given to your exponential, means a raised to power b if we are writing. So exponential will be given the priority at the second level. Okay, firstly we will go for the solution of brackets or parentheses, then we will go for the solution of the exponential terms. Okay, then thirdly we will give preference to multiplication or division terms. But if in case you find कि multiplication is also coming in arithmetic expression and division is also coming, so in that case you will take this left to right rule. See, like if you are writing a into b, okay, and then it is written divided by c, so both operators multiplication and division have got the equal priority. So in that case, when there is a tie between such type of operators which are having the similar priority, then we will take the rule of left to right. So means firstly we will solve a into b, and then we will whatever the result will be there, like it is d, so we will perform d divided by c. Okay, so we will take this rule into consideration. Similarly, after the multiplication and division has been cleared out in the arithmetic expression, then we will go for addition or subtraction. Okay, so this is the precedence order that we need to take care of when we are solving the arithmetic expressions. Okay, so rules also, the steps also he is clarifying. Whenever we are converting our infix to postfix, okay, we have been given with infix expression and we have to convert it into postfix expression. So there are two ways, either we can make it manually or we can use the stack to convert it. Okay, when we are using manual conversion, then we need two steps conversion. Firstly, we will be putting braces to prioritize or to know which is to be solved first, means which particular expression among the complete given expression has to be solved first. So firstly we'll be putting braces, like see, this was the given expression, here we have put few braces, additional braces. You see this brace was not there, we have put it because we are going to solve it manually. Okay, so first step is inserting braces and then go for conversion. But what he is trying to say, if you go through the stack, if you are solving it through stack, then you need only a single pass only. Okay, so what are the steps that are required to convert the infix expression to the postfix expression? So for that you need to insert braces first, and then you will be giving the solution of the innermost braces, like firstly we will solve this bracket, then we will solve the outer bracket, like this. Okay, and we will repeat the step 2 until the entire expression is converted into postfix expression. So better tomorrow we'll be looking at how to solve the given infix expressions into postfix. How you can say this is infix, postfix or prefix? By looking at the operators only. If the operator is lying in between the two operands, then this type of expression is known as infix expression. Okay, like we have given the postfix expression for it, so you will find the operators are lying at the last of the operands, right? So this is a postfix expression of the same infix expression that has been given here. So tomorrow we will learn how to solve these different infix expressions to postfix expressions. Please revise the concepts that has been discussed today, the rules and the priorities that they should be learned, then only you will be able to solve these questions. Thank you, beta.